Okay, well, I've come back to the spot that I was at just a couple of days ago. I lost a few really big fish that day, and it's just been driving me crazy. So today's Sunday, my day off. I've come down here just for a couple of hours. I got some really good bait, and I'm just gonna see if I can hook up on a monster here today and settle the score a little bit, so we'll see. So it's just right about sunrise right now, and this early morning time must be really good. I just threw 2 lines in the water. I got a piece of shad on a float and a piece of shad on a sinker at the bottom, and I just had hits on both of those, and they've only been in the water for a couple of minutes, so that's a good sign. So the water level has dropped quite a bit since the last time I was here. That makes things a lot easier on me as far as fishing goes, but I'm not sure how it's going to affect the bite. Hopefully there's still enough water in here where the fish are spread out and feeding, so there's only one way to find out. He broke off. That was a nice blue catfish. Busted off. Man, that's too bad. I was using a really small hook and he just shook loose. So at least I got to see him. I reeled him right up to shore and then he shook off. Bigger hook. Time for a bigger hook. Ooh, baby. Dang it. I think that may have been a gar. Something took it and really ran with it, but now I see the float popped up over there. Damn. It's tough. Alright, so what I'm doing is I've got one rig with a weight on it and a half a piece of shad, and I'm tossing it right out there on the edge of the current and the slack water. That's for catfish. And then with my float, I'm trying this eddy over here. And I'm casting out into the current, and then I'm letting it swing around until it hits this slack water. And I don't know if you can see my float, but it's right there. And it's just sort of circling around very slowly in this eddy. And I'm hoping to get a gar on this one, although a catfish could easily come up and grab that too, so. So I went out with my cast net yesterday and I got some really good bait. As always, I got some shad. Shoot, looks like I've used them all already. Well, okay. I was gonna hold up a shad as a demonstration, but I got a carp and tilapia. These are really good. Both of those are nice and chunky. Now the shad makes great bait, but here's the thing. So this is the only piece I have left, but you see how thin that is? They're a very like tall, wide, thin fish. And the problem with these is that even when you catch them fresh, they dry out really fast. So I can catch these in the morning, and after they've just been sitting around for a little while, especially in the heat here, they get really hard and dried out. So that's not too great. The carp and the tilapia are much thicker, juicier fish. So I decided to get some of those today. And I'm using the shad up first because they go bad quickly, and about to switch over to the carp and tilapia here. So this one that I've got on the bottom here has been sitting in the same place for a bit, and I'm concerned that it's snagged up. I feel like something should have hit it already, so let's see. What did I tell you? Snagged up. It's really frustrating. Well, I thought I had brought plenty of bait. I got a decent sized carp, a decent sized tilapia, and a couple of shad. But at the rate that I'm having to break the line, you know, every time I do that, I lose a really good piece of bait. So I may just have to fish off of floats. Seeing some really big fish breaking the surface. It's got my adrenaline pumping. So each moment that goes by, I know that my chances of hooking up on a big fish are going down. At least if the pattern follows the last couple times I've been here, which has been in the morning. It's been a lot of action, and then as it started to get light and later in the day, it really died off. So oh my God. I hope that was on camera and I wasn't blocking it with my body. That was like a 6-foot absolute monster of an alligator gar that just came up and broke the surface. It looked like a freaking manatee, or I mean, that thing was 100 pounds if it was an ounce. I'm just shaken by that alligator gar. You know, I've watched people's videos where they've reeled in 150 pound alligator gar, and it's one thing to see it on somebody's video, but to see a fish that big in person, holy smokes. I mean, there's no way I could handle that thing by myself. I don't know what I would even do if I hooked onto that thing. I wouldn't even try to get it ashore. I'd maybe try to reel it in and break the line, but it's pretty exciting to know that there's fish that big right here. Ooh, a snake. That actually looks like a cottonmouth by the way it's floating. Let's see if we can. Whoa. That was a big fish. Be interesting to see if a gar comes along and eats that snake. That would be cool. Let's go see if we can get him. I need a stick for this. I'll spook him. Have him swim off across the line. Let's see, what do we got? What are ya? Actually, is that a rat snake? What is that? Oh, it's a hognose. That's crazy. Oh, you poor little guy. He must be very upset. You look exhausted, little buddy. Aw, these are such cool snakes. What an amazing find. All right. guys float just like cottonmouths do on the water. Okay. There you go. You must be really tired, huh? Alright, so this is an eastern hognose snake. And these guys put on an act that makes them look like a venomous viper. They flatten their head out, they flatten their neck out rather, put on a big old threat display, but they're perfectly harmless. This guy looks like he's got a thorn sticking out of his side or something. He looks a little emaciated too. Really beautiful snakes. Totally harmless. Yeah, he looks really exhausted. Alright, buddy, well, I'm gonna turn you loose and hopefully you'll recover. Here, let's put you somewhere good. Hopefully so we can find some toads to eat. Alright, buddy. Stay out of the water, okay? Find a nice place to relax. Well, I haven't caught a dang thing. Right when I got here, I hooked a blue catfish. It was decent size. Reeled him right up to shore, and then he threw the hook. And then seeing that hognose snake was really cool. And seeing that absolutely massive alligator gar surface was just wild. That totally blew my mind. So that was pretty exciting, but I would have liked to at least caught one fish today before I leave. Whoa. Shit, I'm hooked up in my other line. I think I'm snagged. Oh my god. Whoa. All right. There he is. Now I gotta haul him up here. He's all tangled up in my other line. What a beast. What a beast. Oh my God, this mud. It's up to my knees. Okay. That was the only place I could try to land him though. All right, you're coming with me, buddy. Come on. I'll let you go soon. We gotta get you untangled. Come on. Okay. Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna try to take the barb off this hook and then try to get it out. Hopefully that'll make it slide out easier. He's hooked right through the lip, which is great. There we go. Get them all untangled from the lines. There we go. And then I need to clean this guy off. And then we'll get him back in the water as soon as possible. You don't want to stress it out any more than necessary. Here, buddy. Okay, come on. I'm sorry, you're covered in mud. We'll get you back in soon. Okay. Easy, easy. All right, yeah. Whoa, sorry, buddy. We gotta get you cleaned off. We gotta get you all cleaned off. Make you all pretty. Look at that. What a beast. What a river monster you are. Okay. That's a big cat. This fish is just too heavy for me to handle. But I want to get him back in the water as soon as possible. All right. He's gonna be fine. He still had a lot of fight left in him. Just hooked through the lip. All right. Okay. Well, that's what I came for. That's what it's all about. Monster blue catfish. Man, it's fun to fight those things. And the best part is he was just hooked through the lip and he swam right off, healthy. So he's gonna be just fine. I'm absolutely exhausted and soaked and covered in mud, but it was totally worth it. So when I was reeling that big blue cat in, he swam into my other line, the float that I had out there. And look at this jumbled mess. So there's no way I'm gonna untangle this. So thankfully there's no gear in the water, it's all here. I just gonna have to break the line and I don't know, maybe call it a day. I'm not sure I'll be able to top that. See what time it is, but yeah, this is all gonna have to get cut and re-tied. Okay, well, I think that's about all I could reasonably expect for one day. I said I wasn't gonna stay out here very long, and I don't even know what time it is, honestly, but it's not that late in the morning. So, had a pretty eventful day. Lost a blue cat right when I got here. Saw an eastern hognose snake and rescued him from the bayou. That was really cool. Saw the biggest alligator gar I have ever seen times 10 in the water. That was exciting. And then, of course, ended off the day with that really nice blue catfish, which was the whole reason that I came down here today. So I'm gonna start packing up my camp here, clean myself off a little bit. I've got that rod in the water with a little weight and a little piece of carp on it, just in case while I'm getting things ready here, pack it up. Maybe I'll get one last bite, who knows. But yeah, it's been fun. I always appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Take care.